So Lydia, what age did you first start competing in motorsport?
I started quite young. I started karting when I was 7, just sort of going to the local track and having a go round, and then actually started competing at 8 years old, and it was against 14-year-old boys, and I was just this tiny little girl turning up and having a go. But yeah, it's quite young. I mean, people are starting as early as 4 now, but
Seriously?
yes, yeah. But yeah, 7 or 8 years old was when I started.
Yeah, when you could just reach the pedals.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they were on full. Seat was fully forward to try and reach. But yeah, it's fantastic to start that young as well. It's a proper starting point for motorsport.
Yeah. I say a lot of the big famous drivers started at karting level, didn't they? So.
Well, I started at Buckmore Park, which is where Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button started.
There, excellent. Just got to follow in his footsteps.
Exactly.
So actually, well, following on from that, really, because obviously that was a family day probably as well. So how important is it to you to have your family around you at every round?
I've always had my family with me. I think it's so important to have just sort of a friendly face there. I mean, we've always been a family-run team up until this year, so family has always been sort of the forefront of my motorsport journey. And the support, you can't do it without support from family. You can't just rock up on your own and do it, because there's so much to it. It's the mental side as well. It's just nice to have that support network there, and it's so important.
Because they know you as a person, don't they? Not as a race driver.
Exactly.
That is very important.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is a question which is coming from a fan as well. So he's basically written, "I'm a young driver looking to get into motorsport. What advice do you have?"
I just say take it seriously. I think a lot of people just sort of put 50% in, but I think at that time you have to fully go for it, and start at the bottom. A lot of people jump straight to the top, but you've got to work your way through and just fully commit to it, because that's where you get places. If you fully commit, that's how you
There's
go.
no half measures. That's it. If that's your passion, you follow your passion.
Yeah,
100%, basically.
Exactly. It turns from a hobby to a way of life, really. And that's, if you want to try and make it to the top and compete sort of professionally, then you've got to take it seriously.
Take that transition seriously. That's brilliant. Lovely.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.